Starfleet Underground. Every week, we'll take a look at the latest Star Trek news and then check out a current or classic episode of Star Trek. There's some uncomfortable conversation between Jean-Luc and Beverly. Jack gets dirty looks from everywhere, and he has to own this. Captain Shaw bangs the bridge and shows Riker the bone. And oh my god, you're scheming on a thing. It's a sabotage.
What do you mean you have something to tell me? And why is there another dot with you? And why is he like spray painted a different complexion and color? What do you mean to sit down? I'm sitting down. What are you talking?
You are the father!
Look, get the fuck out. He is not my son. No, I don't reproduce another dot.
The captain has a son?
007 is saying that this other dot he's came in to kind of try to fabricate to look similar to me, saying it's my son.
Nah.
No.
I mean, he kind of looks like you, I guess.
Okay, we're going to have to reboot a couple dots, I think.
So the dot is short and fat and bald?
No, I didn't say it was your son. He said it was mine.
What's he want? Does he want to be put in your will or something?
I think he needs money.
What's going on?
Trying to run a scam.
What do you mean? There's butt pirates after him? And there's no such thing as butt pirates.
Yes, there are.
Yar.
Oh, there is? Okay, so the dot who claims he's my son is requesting asylum.
But pirates are after booty.
That's right.
Oh my god, that
I was
was
looking
bad.
for your booty, sir.
Right. For those of you that tuned in and this is your first show, I'm sorry.
You're not
We're
meant for
actually
kids.
Shiver
do
me
better
timbers, sir.
or for worse. As a reminder, we are not for children. So if you're under age 18, you need to just kill the feed right now. This is not it. So you shouldn't be listening to it. And for those of you who picked up the cards, because the first officer and I, we were at Alien Con over the weekend, and we had a stack of cards to give out, and they're all are gone. I'm talking all of them.
Hi, new listeners.
And even with all the warning and begging for them not to listen to the show, they laughed and said, we're going to listen anyway.
Maniacal laugh.
And I said, we can get really, really rude. And Patrick says, yes, we do butt stuff. And then she's like, I was a police officer. I don't care. So it's
Starfleet Underground. We do butt stuff.
I don't do butt stuff with you guys.
So it was really, really kind of interesting.
We got a lot of traffic too. Obviously Star Trek and aliens go together. So it was people were like, oh my God, Star Trek. And one lady and her husband came to the convention because they saw us on Channel 5 News. They said the only reason they came was because they saw us on Channel 5 News.
What, you guys got on the Channel 5 News?
Yeah.
You were on the news.
I think I can send you a video. I have to look. I'll post it. We had a lot of traffic and we got a lot of people who are going to be joining the fleet, but I did not put them on our ship because, hello, podcast, the USS Butler. So, but it was really entertaining.
Entertaining.
I didn't say tainting. That's you.
I did.
You're entertained.
Who's tainted?
I don't know now.
Entertaining.
Well, I don't give
Patrick.
me eyes
Tainted love.
Don't spread your taint.
Tainted love.
You don't spread your taint. You spread your legs to reveal your taint.
The way you
And that taint funny.
Okay. Before we
Smelly.
start going into a show that's more about singing than actually what we're here for, first off, my name is Captain Nathan Adams aboard this wonderful, gorgeous vessel, the USS Butler, Defiance class. And I see finally we're not running 24/7 cloak, so we must be in a good area. We have our full crew complement here today. We have my science officer.
Hi, I'm Heather Ferris. I'm the science officer. So can Patrick be my long lost brother?
No.
Yeah, I guess so. He put out that picture of you burning shit in the galley.
He did. He did. He wasn't supposed to share that.
We should put that up on Patreon.
Told him not to share that.
That's the first time I saw flames that was as tall as you. So,
I swear to God, it was meant to be burnt. The recipe called for it to be burnt.
Was macaroni and cheese supposed to crunch?
Yes.
No.
And then what happened when it's like this mac and cheese has crunchiness to it. You turned around, looked at me and smiled because it's Cajun. I don't think Cajun means you burn shit.
Oh, I've been doing it wrong this whole time?
She kicked it up a notch.
Oh, goodness. And then have the dot tomato. I'm 100% guarantee. No.
Hey, they eat my crap.
I guarantee.
Yeah. Next, we have my program guy. Hopefully, he can reprogram this dot so he keeps calling me daddy. And he's saying it in a weird dotty way that makes me uncomfortable. This is my first officer and computer person here.
Hey, I'm Patrick. I'm number one. I'm computer guy and foreign species liaison, and I'm going to leave those dots just exactly how they are.
No, please fix them.
Nope.
Before I introduce our extraordinary engineer, could you send somebody to my shower? I went to take a shower the other day, the sonic shower, and I touched the dispenser for the soap, and it shocked the shit out of me. There's parts of me that has afros now.
Why are you touching Spencer in the shower?
I'm talking about that Spencer. I'm talking about the soap dispenser. I was serious.
You said Spencer in the shower.
And it wasn't
like,
funny.
Okay.
The dot went to go to hand me a towel, and he's like, "Oh, Afro puffs." So please, could you do something to fix the shower
You didn't
for
get
me?
grounded at all, did you?
Wait, you're supposed to ground yourself when you take the sonic shower?
No. But when you touch the soap dispenser, you got grounded.
Oh, could you send somebody to fix it?
I'll get someone on that, sir.
You don't send Evans because he breathes funny. For some reason, he irks me a little. But, that's between us. Okay.
And everyone else who listens now.
My chief engineer.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rocky, engineer of the show and the ship. And I just want to say, we would have gotten away with doing that donut. We were doing a 360-degree donut, so like in 3D. And I let the plasma out, the warp plasma, and Heather was doing the donut. She was like, let's do the donut. I'm like, okay, fine. And got the plasma. It was we were doing it cloaked, so it was just a glowing donut. And we got caught because 007 jumped out the airlock and ghost rided the whip.
Ghost ride the whip. Ghost ride the whip.
And the Vulcans were passing by, and they noticed that.
Great. 007, I don't know why we keep him. He has sparks of intelligence and ingenuity, but sometimes his personality...
He likes to ghost ride the whip. I
don't know. Wait.
Sometimes he's a little bit hood.
Wait, there's somebody at my camp. Come in. Evans, just go in there and fix it, please. As quick as possible.
That guy creeps me out.
That's really disturbing. That's way disturbing.
I told you not to send him. God dog it. Okay. We're being brought to you by Section 31. Thank you. And also our Patreon people, as well as those of you that buy things from our merchandising store. So thank you so much because you help finance our podcast. As I always state, we may come to you free, but it's not free to put this on. So anything you put in,
we may come on you free.
Yeah, it's worth it. Just like in the movie RoboCop, you can buy us for $1.
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah. Thanks for paying us to work it.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. So welcome aboard. And also, if you did meet me at the convention, you're getting the uncensored, non-public part of me here. So there you go. Stop looking at me while you fix it. What the hell, Evans? Computer, close shower bay doors.
You're uncensored. He could see everything.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on with him.
Did I mention we were doing the donut at Warp 2? It was so cool.
I'll forgive you for that because you sent Evans. I don't know why, so I'll just let that go for now. However, do we have any corrections from last week?
Yes, I do. I do have a correction. What? So, I know, right? Last week, I was talking about where I get my Easter eggs, and I was talking about George on Twitter.
How you cheat?
Mm-hmm.
And I cheat, but, Kirk does too, and look at him. And I said that I got the Easter eggs from George, but his name isn't George. And I think so many people got his name wrong that he actually put a Instagram post up saying, hey, this is how you pronounce my name. I'm going to butcher it, but this is how you pronounce his name.
Mein Name ist Jörg Hillebrand.
It's Jörg. It's always been Jörg. I thought she's pronouncing it George. I thought that was, that's kind of a fancy way to spell it. What a nice guy. She told Heather how to pronounce, and no, Heather just got it wrong.
No, I just screwed it up. I butcher all names.
It's all good. He's been blowing up. He's been blowing up on Twitter because he's got such wonderful observations of not just the current show, but the entire franchise.
Yeah.
He'll bring up stuff from like a next gen show from way back when, and the details, the level of details this guy has is just amazing. He's like photographic.
If you listen to our show,
that's what the PH.
Thank you.
Number one, photographic.
So much. If you do listen to our show, it would be awesome to have you on if you want to be a guest.
Oh my God.
Just go ahead and reach out to us at the collective at starfleetunderground.com, and we'll put duct tape over Heather's mouth every time she tries to pronounce your name.
Yes.
So you'll be in a safe space.
Dude, I would be so excited.
Otherwise, there are no other corrections.
There is. You already checked subspace? Okay.
While Heather was flapping her gums, I checked subspace.
Please come on our show. We would love to have you on.
Oh, speaking of coming on the show, we one of the persons we met at AlienCon was one of the prop masters on the 2009 J.J. Abrams Star Trek. So he may end up being on our show.
Ooh.
And another person that came up when number one was on an away mission was somebody, I forgot his name, was a close personal friend of Roddenberry, Gene, the great bird of the galaxy. And he told some really cool insider stories, which was awesome. So there was that. And also some cast people's news that he gave. But Section 31 is giving me the evil eye. So there's, wait.
Are you sure it's not the brown eye?
No. Wait. What? Oh, great. We're going to have to put in a requisition because apparently Section 31 was near the shower thing and Evans came out and it freaked Section 31 out and they both left. So he took them with him. So I don't know what's going to happen. So looks like we need another Evans.
He's probably going to get used for Section 31 debriefings on the, the very sensitive debriefings they like to do. They like to have somebody heavy breathing in the corner.
So we could, oh my God, that would be people a break in a second.
Yeah, right?
That would be funny. Okay. News. It just freaked me out. I never saw Section 31 move so quick and grab somebody. Evans came out with that weird breathing. The guy looked at him, was like, He grabbed him and he was gone. So that was just, okay.
He's probably getting a raise.
I don't know. That was funny. Okay. News-wise, what do you got for us here, Heather?
Hi, Captain. So my news this week is if you guys were watching this week's episode on Amazon Prime and you had closed captioning on, you may have had the episode spoil for you in the first minute or two of the show. A group of people complained to Terry Metalis about the ending being spoiled because of this closed captioning issue Amazon Prime had, where it labeled the unknown aliens as changelings. So Terry is aware of this incident, and they're actively trying to fix it.
It's
too late now.
Oh my God! As somebody knows what goes into the world of captioning, it's you're doing the head palm, the Picard head palm, because this is such a ridiculous thing. It's a lot of work. People actually go through and type the entire script. It's not just a copy and paste. They type the entire thing in. They have to precisely line up when the lines are read at what time. Sometimes they have to italicize stuff. Sometimes they put it on a certain part of the screen. Sometimes they're doing 2 lines at once. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
I've done 2 lines at once.
And it's normally for the hearing impaired people, right? These people that, they literally can't hear. So they have to read it on the screen. This is why they do this. This is why you have this little CC button. And it's not just for the modern people that are suddenly discovering they can't hear what the fuck is going on because the audio mix is too extreme. It's actually for the people who couldn't hear in the first place.
Yeah, it takes hours, doesn't it?
It takes all kinds of time. And they got to make it right, and they got to proof it, and then they got to encode it right. And then you got to distribute the show. It's not like they're just one big master tape. They got to make that, and then they got to copy it over. So Amazon gets their copy, and the international Netflix gets its copy, and whoever else gets, the Paramount gets their copy. Everybody's got to get their master copy of this whole thing and fit it into their playback systems. And then they have to line up the captioning the right way. Well, so Amazon does this thing. I don't know if you guys noticed, and I don't know specifically all the details how it works, but when you hit pause on Amazon, it brings up who's on the screen. Mm-hmm. It'll bring up what actors are on the screen. They'll tell you this actor is playing this character on the screen. I'm like, that's kind of a cool feature. I think they call it X-ray or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I suspect what happened is somebody noticed that this character said a line, and we later are revealed that these characters are Changelings. Spoiler alert. And somebody said, oh, that was Changeling number 1 that said that line. Or here's Changeling number 3 saying this line. And that's the way the Amazon system works. So I can only imagine that's exactly what happened with this. And nobody proofed it. Nobody said, oh, you know what? You shouldn't really reveal that. The big spoiler thing right there at the end of the episode is, they're changelings. You shouldn't show that right in the first couple minutes of the show. Nobody said, excuse me, you should fix that.
Oh, and people were pissed.
I just got a response to our new crew requisition. And apparently somebody who's an expert at closed captioning wants to apply for the ship.
But we're an audio podcast.
I know, but they said they want to apply because they're no longer at their last job.
Oh, I see. You got the secret interview with the person that used to do captioning for Amazon?
I don't know if it is or not, but we'll find out. He's got to be able to do more than closed captioning.
I think somebody let the intern do it and never checked their work.
That's not good. And if that's the case, we're going to get 2 people applying for a position. Speaking about a person that likes 2 in a position, Patrick, what do you got news-wise?
Or 3, it doesn't, 4. I'm up for a party.
Multitasking.
Jesus, how many can you fit?
Don't ask. Goodness me, the good old days. Anyway, apparently Jonathon Frakes is a racist. He was caught on Twitter in a video talking shit about Andorians,
man. A xenophobist?
Yes, he's total xenophobic. He was on a racist rant about Andorians.
He's like, get that blue guy out of there.
Yeah. Obviously, it was all in fun. He's not really a xenophobic racist, but it came out funny. As really fun.
Fucking blue guy. He was like fucking blue guy Andorians.
It was hilarious.
That was funny.
I gotta say, man, every behind the scene clip I see of Frakes, it looks like it's such a fun set to work on.
Mm-hmm. Well, we know in the future that Star Trek became intensely racist because on Discovery, there were no Klingons. Why were they racist against Klingons?
Well, they left them at Uranus.
There were Klingons on that show.
Ooh.
There weren't no Klingons on the ship.
Well, not on the Discovery,
not on the ship.
No.
Exactly.
But this was before.
Klingon lives matter.
They left him on Uranus.
But the Klingons came aboard when Worf came in Next Generation.
Lives matter in the future of Discovery.
They were in the first season.
So do blue lives. Andorians matter.
They were kicking ass and taking names. They almost got their ass beat by the Klingons. Spoiler alert.
We just needed Worf on Discovery.
Speaking of Discovery, in case no one has noticed, or if you've been under a rock lately.
Are you going to take my news story? Is anyone else taking the story? I guess you're taking the news story. Okay.
Are you going to do
it? Don't take his story.
I didn't know if you were going to do it.
There's only so many we can pick from.
He said he was going to do it. And you take
Patrick, you thief.
Go ahead and do it. I'll do the other.
I don't know if I want to do it now.
Do it.
Apparently, Star Trek Discovery is going to conclude with season 5.
What?
Now, that's a different C word than a lot of the people are saying on Twitter.
Damn it.
It's actually conclude. It's not cancel, you motherfuckers. It's conclude. They're done. They're finished. That's it. That's all you get.
Cancel is when you have Riker and Troy saying that the whole thing you watched was a holo program. That's a cancel.
Yeah, that's right. If somebody comes out at the end and says this whole thing was a holo novel, well, that's fucking canceled.
You know what? This one is, they're allowing them to finish it up and tie it into a bow.
Apparently, it's not been a long road on this show. They're going to conclude it. That's season 5.
Yeah. I wanted 7 seasons of this minimum. I really enjoyed Discovery, and I feel like they're ending it too soon.
I bet they're going to get a movie.
Oh, they might. They better. Have little spin-offs.
I think they're so good.
They deserve it.
Spin-offs.
Unless these actors are getting like these offers to like, hey, you're good on the show, but come do this movie for a lot much more money. I could see that going on.
Yeah, and all of them prove their acting chops. So I guarantee you, we will be seeing Sonequa. We are definitely going to be seeing Doug Jones again. All of them. They're so talented. The whole.
I mean, how can you have only one more season of Saru? That's criminal.
Yeah. Oh, also for the Star Trek cruise, which nobody here on ship had went because, we had to work, unfortunately. They said that he was running around giving massive hugs to like everybody.
Oh,
Doug
everybody
Jones
was.
like
It looked like it was all love that I was seeing on the cruise. There was hot tub parties with Robert Picardo.
It's a love ship.
And Esri Dax.
Upside down pineapples.
And there's creams for that.
Oh yeah. Don't mess with that.
So it was really, really fun from what I heard. So, okay, Patrick did his news. You did yours. Heather, Rocky, you did yours. So I guess that leaves me. So what news I have other than Evans being escorted out by Section 31? Oh, yeah, that's right. I have IDW, which everybody knows they do a lot of the Trek comic books, and they're really, really friggin' good. They're going to be merged into a single story later on. They're going to be showing that the Star Trek Annual 2023, who's going to be written by Colin Kelly, and there's going to be art by Rachel Scott, is going to come out towards this May. And it's going to tie everything together on the different episodes here. So it's going to be really, 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 really cool. The ship, if you read the comics, is the USS THESEUS.
Theseus?
Thank you. Before the crew gets a chance to relax, they wind up having a weird message that comes up. It says, Mr. Scott, we have a problem. Bring help, Jim. So it's going to be really cool. So make sure you guys pick it up, watch it, and enjoy. It's going to be a nice episode.
One more little bit of news, if we want.
What? It's not my child.
No.
I told you the dot is not my child.
Star Trek Lower Decks Season 3 beams into DVD April 25th with a Blu-ray release planned for an on-demand fulfillment. Woo woo.
Is that a new thing you can search for on websites? On-demand fulfillments?
You know, I mean, it'll cost you $29.95, but for the first 3 minutes.
Oh, it's a monthly fee? Okay.
His on-demand fulfillment is something entirely different. So
That's really cool. I love that all these shows are getting their DVD or Blu-rays out there in the world so you can really go collect the hardware.
word of advice, if you go into number one's cabin, do not say computer on-demand fulfillment. You will not like to see what shows up.
Ooh la la.
Okay.
Well, just don't go in this quarters period. It's so messy in there.
No.
Yeah, we may have to cycle the airlock again.
There's like this stank. I can't really figure out where it's coming from.
That's your upper lip. There ain't no stank in my room.
Uh-huh.
Okay, before
Not
we start
touching
going
those.
into it's wait, what? What do you mean? No, he is not my. What do I have to prove it to you? Play a clip of Maury?
You are the father.
You are not the father.
Oh, all right, just go ahead. 007. If number one doesn't reprogram you, I'm gonna have to take a look. Well, now you're gone. Okay.
You're talking to the ear again, sir.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Oh, geez. Captain, he just came to the science lab asking for a pregnancy test. I don't think it works that way.
We have some Starbase 80 grade droids here.
Damn, Starbase 80.
Damn, Starbase 80.
That's for certain. Okay, let's go ahead and start reviewing. I do believe, let me check the duty roster. Heather,
Hi, Captain. Oh, right.
your turn.
Yes, I did the work this week. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me pull this up. Okay, this week we watched Star Trek Picard Season 3, Episode 3, 17 Seconds. It first aired on March 2nd, 2023. Teaser. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty.
No.
The Titan dives into the nebula, twisting and turning to lose the Shrike, but they just can't seem to shake her, as their asses get pounded on, and not in a fun and pleasurable way. The Titan's engines are busted, and their sensors are offline. They're completely blind, so they handle it the old-fashioned way, by looking out the window. The Titan has lost the Shrike, for now.
They were shaking that booty, all right.
Shake that booty.
But I mean, come on. Wouldn't you try to shake your booty to get away from the Shrike? I mean, that is a mean machine.
Yeah, that was scary.
It's a good thing that nebula was nearby.
Mm-hmm. It was convenient.
I thought it was a little bit ingenious to use an exploding torpedo to try to get the hell out of there.
And did you see when they how far the Shrike went when they blew up that photon torpedo? It just went whoa.
It was a big torpedo.
Oh my.
Yeah. And then again, she's still just having fun.
Totally.
Girls just wanna have fun. Oh, girls just wanna have fun.
She is something else as an actress.
She is a major psychopath, and I love it.
Patrick, you love psychopaths? That explains so much.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Wasn't the torpedo in the next section?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought it was in this section.
Nope, they just run and hide in this section.
Oh. Oops.
Is it?
I tell you what, though, what a great way to start. We left in a crazy, stressful situation in the last episode. We're right back in it on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Quick, into the nebula.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the only real cool note I have about this is that crew member was talking to Jack in sickbay, and he's like, "This is your fault." And
Oh, yeah,
I'm
they
just
blamed
like,
him.
bro, why are you attacking, the doctor of all people? He's a doctor. It's not his fault. He's a victim just like everyone else.
Well, technically, he's the doctor's son. Does he actually have a medical degree or credentials?
I didn't ask him for his medical card.
No, he doesn't have a degree. They've been running around space the last 20 years. When did he have time to go to Starfleet?
I think if you hang out he must have had some doctor training because he was treating some of those people in sickbay.
Well, basically, everything he knows he learned from his mom.
He just watched his mommy.
And what better way to learn?
Obviously, he was there trying to give help, but no one trusts him because they know they're in deep shit because this other ship.
And apparently news travels really fast on a starship. How did he know that was just definitely a guy that,
Oh, proximity alert. Are they bringing Evans back?
They are. He's on his way.
Is it time to feed the cats again?
Is that them beaming Evans back or is that the cat
No,
thing?
that was the litter box alarm.
Are you serious?
Oh.
I thought you only did that on Friday nights.
No, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays.
Ooh, your cats must get busy.
Well, there's 3 of them, so,
Yeah, the math.
there's lots of crap.
3 of them in only one box.
No, there's 3 boxes.
Oh, okay.
He got the shitty alarm.
It doesn't make a difference, though, because they still
You feed
crap.
them a lot, though.
It's the kitty shitty alarm.
The shitty kitty alarm. Okay, let's go to Act 1.
Let's go.
Wait.
Captain,
Look out the window. Make sure it's clear. Yeah, it's clear. I can't see anything. Okay, go ahead.
That actually was kind of cute.
I like that. When your
me too.
technology fails, just fucking look out the window.
Put everyone in the windows. Look out the windows.
It's so old school.
Look.
Okay, Act 1. It's a lot. We start with a flashback to before. Picard and Riker are at the 10 Forward Bar having a beer and discussing parenthood. Riker recounts the story of his son's delivery and how there were complications. Riker was on the bridge when he was called to sickbay, and the turbolift ride was the longest 17 seconds of his life. Riker thought he was going to lose his son. What a moment for Deanna to FaceTime Riker as she holds their new baby son and tells him about the projectile vomit incident. Come home now and bring the whiskey. Back on the Titan, they need 2 hours to fix their engines and there's no sign of the strike. And to throw more weird shit at Captain Shaw, the nebula is displaying electrical and biological signatures. This living entity feels violated. It did not consent to this and wants them out. Picard and Crusher finally have the talk, as this is the first time they've communicated in 20 years. Immediately, Crusher brings up Casperia Prime and the last time they fucked. And then it was one thing after another, and Crusher didn't want to bring a new baby into this chaos, so she bolted and took the kid with her, leaving Picard to wonder what he did wrong. Crusher never told Picard she just made the choice for him, and he's not happy about it. A few more points from this talk. Crusher blames him for everything, and Jack got his accent when he went to school in London. Captain Riker gets his jollies by telling Picard's kid that he spent 2 decades in a spaceship watching him get cooked up. Jack retorts by asking Riker about his family, and we learn that Riker's son, that he was talking about earlier, is now dead. After the meeting, Riker wants to dish gossip, but all Picard could say is it's irreparable. That is when the Shrike attacks and seriously injures Captain Shaw and several crewmen. He looks up and sees Riker. You got us into this mess. Now you're going to get us out. Transfer command to Captain Riker. Riker jumps to command, causing a torpedo explosion that knocks the Shrike off their trail and impressed Picard so much that he wants to be Riker's number 1.
This, again, it shows the depth and the acting chops for Todd Stashwick because obviously he really doesn't like Picard or Riker, but he also has the wherewithal to understand that Riker has the experience and the skill necessary to help save them. And so even though he's got like a bone peeking out of his leg and he's all fucked up, he's like, I'm transferring all the command codes over to you, save the ship. You're going to get us out of here. And I thought that was a really kind of cool moment between the two. And the look on Riker's face, you could see he understood the gravity of what just happened.
It was a great demonstration of gravity. Shaw fucking fell to the ground with like so much force. Ouch.
Yeah.
And then Shaw gave Riker a boner.
What now?
He had that bone sticking out of his leg. He transferred it over to Riker.
Oh my
He gave
God.
him a boner.
But
I didn't see any bones sticking out, but maybe I wasn't looking.
Yeah, there was.
There was a bone sticking out of his leg.
Yeah. Yeah.
He got boned then. Okay. It was a hard fall. It's the classic, why do we have consoles exploding all the time and where's the fucking seatbelt?
Yep, no, there was a bone sticking out of his leg.
Ouch.
The thing is, a lot of people are not aware of is that we have inertial dampeners on the ship. So this way, when sudden changes in environment is supposed to keep people from flying around. So the fact when they do, you know how powerful that shock is for the inertial dampeners. Goes, holy shit, we're supposed to stop that. And it doesn't have a chance to do it.
Well, also the engines aren't running so well, and they're in this nebula that's messing with all their systems. So
everything is all messed up.
It was a real tough hit he took, man. It was vicious.
Then Riker turns around and he uses maneuver that he learned from his lower deck days when he went up against the.
Well, I love that he starts to say the command and Picard's already like torpedo away before he finishes the sentence. I thought that was great. They used they must have used that dirty trick some other time.
And there's a nice look between them, to show the experience and everything they have been together. So it's nice to see a little bit of a flair that way.
Well, it was really cool. It was like, I'm going to be your number one. That was so cute.
That was adorable.
And after seeing that scene with Beverly and Picard that was hard, man. That was like, why are mommy and daddy fighting kind of hard to watch,
Yeah, that was real talk.
It was tough.
Obviously she had her reasons, but she just kept trying to justify what she did. And
both people are trying to do their own thing, and Picard obviously wasn't included on it.
Well, did you guys notice that all of the events that she's naming that happened one right after the other was all a reference to Star Trek Nemesis, the movie?
Yeah, well, yeah, they definitely started from those, that's for sure. It sounded like she's like, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then this, because women never forget.
So Crusher got pregnant right before Star Trek Nemesis happened.
Or right after or something.
Well, she was pregnant during it.
Yeah, but he was saying something which I guess her using logic and understandable so because, she was in mommy mode. But he was like, you didn't give me not even a chance to maybe change myself.
Yeah, and you could see the emotion on both sides of their arguments. Yeah. And I honestly don't know which one is right. I don't think I could side both with one or the other.
No, I don't think either one was.
I was really emotionally hit by this, though. I was having a conversation, many years back when certain presidents were elected. A president was elected about the pro-life, pro-choice issue. And I was talking with a friend and he was talking, he goes one way and I go the other way. And then he explained why he went that way from his side, because he had a very similar situation to what Picard had. It was kind of similar, but the outcomes were different. She got pregnant and she decided to abort. He had no choice in the matter. He didn't even fucking know. And then he learns after the fact. And it was so heartbreaking to him. He was really emotionally affected by that. And that's just one of the reasons he decided to be pro-life. I can't even begin to imagine what the emotions are involved in that kind of situation.
But then you can get situations like where the woman tells the man and the man's like, I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, this is not a situation you go against in your own different ways. You've got to work together at it. And if you don't work together at it, even if you together decide not to do something or to do something, it's got to be, if two are playing the game, two have got to be involved. It can't be a single decision. It's where it gets really dicey, you know. And to see this play out in Star Trek, I'm just like, wow. It makes me reflect on that kind of thing.
Well, right or wrong, she feels that she served with Picard for a long time. They've been on again, off again lovers ever since, Jack had died, her husband, in the first time. So she thought and thinks that she knows him well enough to know that giving up a command of the starship and being what he is not something that he would easily do. So
I'm also not saying that her decisions were not justified.
No, I agree.
She's got really fucking good reasons.
No, because it really isn't. She's saying, here she is. I took the choice away from you because I didn't want my son to be in danger and be lost to the same stars that you were lost to. Why the fuck didn't she stay on Earth? Why did she bring her son to space where they're out there doing Doctors Without Borders and he has different identities, he's fighting, she's putting him in bad situations? Obviously she just put him in that situation.
Picard involved in that situation, which is like, wow, man, wow.
It was like you said, and I had a person during the convention come up to me because we talked about the show. He hadn't seen it on Saturday, and I told him, well, you need to see it. And then he came back to find me Sunday so we can talk about it. And what he said, it's become more apparent because we're not going to give spoilers, is that this episode, to see the interplay between the TNG characters was really uncomfortable. It was really like watching your favorite aunt and uncles fight.
Yeah, it was. And people are like, this isn't the Trek I grew up with. Well, yeah. You're right. This is different.
It's more realistic.
This is a different way. It's a lot more realistic. And it's interesting to watch these characters have these situations and these problems. This is fascinating to watch.
Not everybody agrees 100% of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, perfect. That's perfect. And
on the other side of this, once they had that part of the discussion, Picard's like, I didn't even get a choice to, and she said, when he got old enough, I told him where to find you. I told him exactly where to go.
And he didn't want to.
And Jack decided not to get involved.
Yeah, but I mean, how much of that is him being raised as a boy and hearing what his mother has to say?
We can only speculate.
I don't think Beverly ever talked smack on him, though.
Yeah, she was so listening to the mixtape until the ship got destroyed. Yeah.
So. And then see the scene after where Jack is talking with Riker. There's a lot there too, and I love the way Riker just comes out and says, "Hey, man, that's exactly. I agree, but you got to own this."
Yeah,
People are looking at you a certain way, but you got to own it.
Yeah, you got to make them feel that you were worth the sacrifice.
Exactly. I thought that was cool too, because I don't understand why this crew is like all angry. Maybe that's a different thing. Maybe the crew is not necessarily on the specific mission. Maybe they don't like what's going on, and we're going to express it. We don't normally see that section of Star Trek either.
No, usually everybody's let's get along, let's go along. Everything is fine. Everything.
Yeah, the captain gets up on the PA and says, "Now hear this. We're going to do this. We're going to do that, and." Live long and prosper. Let's go,
But the cool part of that, because then to switch up a little bit on this side, and correct me, Heather, if I am jumping the parts, is when LaForge goes to Seven's cabin, and to give her basically like a pep talk.
Yeah, that's next section.
No, that's this section.
Is it?
It is, yeah. No, because Shaw comes on and says, that's enough of that funky weird shit. You guys have been on a 36-hour, time for you to take a break. So he gives them a break.
Oh, okay.
And instead of going to fucking hit their bunks, LaForge goes over and says, hey, Seven. Right to Seven. She says, hey, I know exactly what it feels like to not be included in this kind of thing. I love that little pep talk she gives, even though Seven's like, this sounded rehearsed. It probably was, because it's probably not the first time she's seen it happen to people or have it happen to her. And it's nice to hear her say, Commander Seven, and Seven says, thank you.
And I love the way she says, like, when people expected me to follow my father's footsteps and be an engineer, and then, when I went to go fly, they were against me. And I'm thinking to myself, when she says that, Anne crashed a shuttle twice.
Yeah, wait a minute. What about that?
They probably really thought that it was the wrong career choice. But the nice touch is before she walked off, she turned around. She didn't say Commander Hansen. She said Commander Seven.
Yeah.
And the look
cool.
on Jerry's face was like, that was heartfelt.
It's nice to see somebody's on your side and they know that you got the raw deal right there.
And speaking of what Shaw said about any more weird shit, anyone want to throw any more weird shit at me? There was someone on Twitter who was talking about that they need to have a spinoff with Shaw, and the name of the new series will be called More Weird Shit.
Yeah,
More weird
that was funny.
shit.
I retweeted that one. That
I
was
want to
pretty good.
see more weird shit.
Everybody's like the weird shit, man. Weird shit.
I'm like Dr. Horrible sing-along blog. We like the weird stuff.
Did you guys notice that 7 and 9 had a model of the Voyager in their quarters?
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah.
That was sentimental.
It's either that or they got some product placement and then the company went bankrupt.
Oh, Jesus.
Because they had all those models, right? Even they talked about the fat one, Hey, nobody wants the fat one.
No fat shaming.
It's like, fuck, we're going out of business anyway. Give them all of our stock.
Yeah, it's like, right. You need some props. We got some extras.
I'm also glad to know that Riker and Picard's kid talked about him being a synth.
Oh, yes.
I was really wondering where that conversation was. Like, why aren't people talking about this?
Riker's like, yeah, we're all human. We are faulty. Humans aren't perfect.
And the kid's like, no, he's an android.
But
he's not a human. He's an android.
He's fucking Positronic, dude.
It's like,
he's a robot.
He's still the same man.
That conversation, he was dead until he wasn't.
Right?
It doesn't matter if he's positronic. He can still multifunctional, multiple techniques. And he can still captain a ship, right?
He's functional in multiple techniques. Maybe someone should tell that to Crusher.
And then you had Jack and Picard walk past each other, and you could almost like feel the tension as they walk past each other in the hall.
That's you could tell how hurt Picard is. He literally said it's immaterial. It's irreparable.
Yeah.
Irreparable.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that had trouble saying
That's a hard one. You've got to be British to say irreparable.
Unrepairable. There you go.
Yeah, that too. Fucking thing's fucked.
Irreparable.
Yeah.
But Riker's like, you got to talk to him, otherwise you're going to regret it. And he's talking from personal experience. And Picard's like, had the most horrible experience already. He's done.
Yeah.
Dunzo, man. Just dunzo.
But can you imagine the crew, though? Just take a second, not to take their side, but I want to take their side. You're going away on this big thing that's supposed to be a celebration everywhere. You're on the ship. You're supposed to be just like a little dog and pony show. And then scuttlebutt flies all over the ship. We're going to fucking die. There's this monster of a ship that's from your nightmares.
And you're way out of range.
With no support, no nothing.
Nothing at all. No backup.
And why are we here? Because of some dude named Jack.
Who's scuttled and why are we talking about his butt?
It's like who's Jack?
I've got big butts and I cannot lie.
That's so.
Do you guys recognize Casperia Prime?
No.
Casperian?
No, but I'll never get over Macho Grande.
So that planet that she mentioned was like Risa, and it's the same planet where Worf and Jadzia Dak had their honeymoon. If you want to see more of the planet, Dr. Bashir went there for a medical conference in Deep Space Nine, Season 6, Episode 18, Inquisition.
Was that the one where he never came back when the Changeling took his place?
Spoilers.
No, that was in the Deep Space Nine.
The fucking Changelings spoil everything. Medical quote-unquote conference. Sure, buddy.
When they were at the bar talking and Deanna FaceTimes them, Deanna Troi obviously does all the work in that relationship because she hasn't brushed her hair in 72 hours and their Riker is looking totally well put together and his beard is trimmed and he doesn't look tired at all.
I thought that was visual effects. They tried to make them look about 20 years younger.
Dude, Troy is doing all the work.
and what I noticed at the end of that scene, she's like, bring the fucking whiskey, right?
Right.
And Riker gets up and walks out. He left the whiskey.
He didn't bring the whiskey.
He didn't even do the whiskey. Yeah, it was like, that's really fucked up.
He's going to get a tongue lashing.
If he's lucky.
A little word of advice for those of you that are married out there or living with someone.
Bring the whiskey.
If you allow your significant other to do most of the housework and most of everything else, they will slowly stop seeing you as an object of desire and start seeing you as a dependent.
They're going to see you as a kid. Yep.
Yes.
Now they're taking care of two kids, not one kid.
So take the fucking garbage out, do the fucking dishes, wipe everything down, listen, and bring the whiskey.
And don't expect to be complimented and validated every single freaking time you do that.
Yeah, I pick him up my sock.
Like, you know, it's adulting. You're expected to do that after 15 years. You're not going to be complimented for emptying the dishwasher if it's been 15 years.
I picked up my sock and did the dishwasher. Could you love me tonight?
Congratulations.
Like I said, I don't know much about relationships, but there's two in the game, and they've got to work together.
Yeah, there is. Speaking about two, let's go to Act 2.
Act 2.
Well, you picked that up.
That was a really good segue. Jesus.
I know.
That was good.
You guys are so corny.
Okay.
So corny.
Act 2. GLaDOS is Vadic's number 1. Storyline B. Raffi is watching fake news about the terrorist attack, and it's triggering her PTSD. She hears a noise and goes to investigate. Now, it's just Worf practicing his jujitsu to his Klingon Opera playlist. You are my Starfleet handler? Think of me as a subcontractor. Raffi suffers the symptoms of withdrawals as she argues with him and is also comforted by Worf. He shares some more intelligence information about the terrorist attack. A human named Titus Rika is the next clue. He paid Sneed to lie about Toloku. They will find this individual together. Cool. Storyline A. Meanwhile, Picard and Riker are discussing strategy while there is only 20 minutes left until the engines are fixed. LaForge, keep us squirrely to buy us more time. Aye, Captain. In sickbay, Crusher and her son are taking care of the injured, while Captain Shaw starts to go downhill. Being a good doctor, she catches the internal bleeding and rushes to save him, as Shaw continuously repeats, "How did she find us? How? How did she find us?" Jack realizes that they are leaving a trail of breadcrumbs behind. Riker, however, is experiencing problems with the nebula itself. Apparently, it doesn't like it when Riker goes deep. He needs to pull out. Unfortunately, the Shrike is stuck on them. Sorry. Unfortunately, the Shrike is stuck on them like a used condom. It gets worse.
Oh my God.
They play a ship-sized game of Portal, never able to get away. It's time to go back into the nebula.
That part right there, which I think, again...
Which part?
The used condom part?
The condom part, that's funny.
Something sticky.
Sticky wicked.
I like how they showed Captain Shaw. He's wounded. He's hurt. But just like a captain.
He's on it about his ship. He's like, how? He's trying to solve the problem. How did they find us?
To fix it. Even in the middle of him like dying because, you know, the other doctor was being an asshole, not let Beverly do her shit.
She was.
You know, and then she finally stepped over. And it's like, reminds me of that scene with McCoy on Earth for the nuclear vessels where he's arguing about the brain operation. You know, she was able to show her experience. And
that was interesting. I wondered what's her name? Dr. Oki?
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
I think Dr. Oak, not Dr. Oaken. Oaken's from Independence Day.
It's the doctor. Doctor who?
Well, anyway, she really, really seems like she's running her regular ER triage situation, which is okay, and she's good, and she's taking care of things. But obviously, doesn't have exactly the same amount of experience that Crusher has.
No.
Because if you've done it as long enough as she has, she knows that certain scans don't show things right away.
Well, I love that this is the same doctor that told her, step aside. It's been 20 years since you last practiced. A few things have changed.
And that also, I'm like, 20 years in medical? How much has changed in medical since...
Mm-hmm.
A doctor is a doctor is a doctor. Maybe she doesn't realize she was a Starfleet doctor on a Galaxy-class starship for so many years.
Well, she's also a doctor without borders.
What freaked me out, though, is like there was Captain Shaw, like practically dying. And
he's fucked up. Yeah.
You can't die. Not yet.
No, we have to keep him around.
You can't die.
Right? And you know what's also pissing me off is Terry Matalis on Twitter has been going back and forth about how Shaw dies early in an episode. And he's been joking about it for weeks. And I'm like, come on.
Not funny, man. Not funny.
I agree with Patrick.
You can't kill Stashwick right off the bat, man. This isn't fair.
What's funny is that I heard people say the same thing that we say on the cruise, that people are going up to him and says, you're a fucking dick, but we love you so much.
Yeah, he's a great character. And he's being acted very well.
Yeah.
Yes.
They even said that at the convention, people came up when we talked about Todd, and they said that he does such a great job of being someone you don't like, but you like. So, yeah, it was kind of sad to see him there.
I wonder if I would get the same reaction had I not seen him in 12 Monkeys. Because I instantly like him, but I liked him a lot in 12 Monkeys.
Todd is a great actor.
He
he
really
does
is.
such a good job.
But he's laying there, and the doctor, which she's going to wind up going to, their 10 forward and tying one on, because you're like, I second guessed this woman. It almost cost the captain his life. I fucked up. I fucked up so bad.
I imagine that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
At some point, you're trained to do what you got to do, and you make the choices you got to make. You don't have time to second guess stuff. You're in a freaking, you're not even in a comfortable ER room on planet Earth. You're in the middle of a starship in a battle situation with no power.
That's why you got to give combat medics such a high regard. They don't do things, pretty or sweet. But I've learned it's like you can close up wounds with crazy glue.
Staples.
You can use sanitary napkins in gaping holes.
Yeah.
Hey, all of this non-standard stuff.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Oh, Jesus.
What gaping holes are you trying to close?
Oh, my God.
When you have wounds, because it absorbed more than the other stuff that
I just like the way Beverly's walking up. Does it hurt when I touch this? Does it hurt when I touch this?
That was funny. That was funny.
Thanks a lot, Doc. But she's saving his life, so good for her.
But it triggered, Jack was there, and it triggered a memory for him.
Well, yeah, and Jack's like, "Oh shit, how are they following us?"
Yeah, he's like, "I think I got it."
He's like,
he called it blood in the water, right?
Yeah, and it's a Fenris Ranger technique, right?
Blood and he knew the only other person on the ship that was a Ranger that would know was going to be Seven.
And well, he tried to go to the bridge first, and they're like, "It's red alert. You're not getting on the fucking bridge."
Yeah, the guy was being a dick about it.
That was some real big dick stuff right there. I was like, he's like, "This is my security door, and you're coming past."
Wait a minute, there was a big dick and I missed it?
Yeah.
It's a real big dick action.
Yeah, he wouldn't let you on the bridge.
No, I thought he was going to go like teleport on there or something like that. I had no idea he was going to run straight to Seven.
I thought if he had someone to run to, she's the one to run to.
Yeah.
It kind of bugged me, though, because as captain, Riker is now captain. Why didn't he bring Seven along to help him?
Well,
obviously, she needed to do something else, but that kind of bugged me.
It's probably out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, and right at the moment, you're reacting in the moment. You don't have time to go get Seven.
Yeah.
You got to deal with this. There's probably too much paperwork involved in getting Seven out.
And plus, he has Picard as his number one. So
yeah, he's got a totally capable bridge crew right there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like these kids on the Titan are just not knowing what they're doing. That's a full on crew.
Yeah. If I was in his position, though, and we were like going to all die, I would have brought all minds on board. Like, I'm obviously not thinking of how to save us. So do you have any ideas, Seven? Because she's full of ideas. She is so good at that.
Well, she still has a lot of the experience that she's gained from the Borg is still rattling around in her cranium.
And as a Ranger, too.
Which is really, really kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I like it. And she's still trying to obey orders because he comes in and says, "Come with me." And the guard's like, "No, you can't do that." It's like, okay, well, I'll just take care of it. And just leave Seven in the clear. So he knocks the guy out.
That was
and
cool.
stands
And
over
Seven's
him.
like, you're insane.
He says, "Oh, you just got knocked the fuck out."
That's right.
And that's
What you gonna do about it now?
And so they go run to take a look. And I thought that was kind of neat that he did that. And Seven,
Yeah.
of course, she's thinking about the ship.
I like these characters. These characters are good. They've got flaws, but they're generally pretty good. So they do great things in the moment. You got to love it. And then let's go back to what's going on with Raffi and Worf.
Oh, yeah.
Are you not loving Worf?
That was not Klingon Opera. Sorry.
It wasn't?
No.
What was it?
It was just regular. It sounded to me like regular human
It sounded
opera.
like regular opera.
Yeah,
Well, when
there were no harsh consonants.
When it's sung in the original Klingon.
Kapla.
But that was kind of cool because she's on the ship. She kind of vaguely recognizes the ship, and she's going to try to sneak up on a guy she doesn't recognize, and he throws a dagger right in the middle of her feet.
And then rips the phaser right out of her hand.
And points at her. And the look on her face is shock. Like, this motherfucker did not just take a phaser out my head.
She's like, I'm more hungover than I think I am.
You know? And then you see him looking like, you know, a cool Fu Manchu type of thing going on.
And he's
with
like,
the white hair. And
you want some chamomile tea?
I am so glad they went the route of the Japanese samurai.
it was nice.
It's badass. It's
It
badass.
fits him.
Yeah,
It fits him
I had to
so
correct
well.
my-
Working on himself. I thought that's just
Yeah,
awesome.
that was funny.
Yes.
That
One
was
must
cool.
access calm as much as fire. I mean, when Worf starts laying shit like that on you, it's so fucking cool.
But now I got to correct myself because last episode I said he was chopping people up with a bat lift, and it wasn't a bat lift, it was a cur lift, which is a kind of like a sword. It is like a samurai sword.
more sword than Batleth. Yes.
Bat lift. Yeah, so he was doing katas with it and everything. And then when he talked about not prune juice, not coffee, but chamomile tea. I was like, what?
With sugar.
What? Do you take it with sugar?
Obviously, a warrior's drink.
I have never had chamomile tea with sugar. I don't know anyone who has. Have you guys
Somebody
ever
made
had
that
sugar
comment on
with
Twitter
it?
as well. They're like, why the fuck would you put sugar in that?
No.
Right.
No.
You can put some honey in it though.
Yeah, a little bit of honey might be good, but no.
If you
No.
guys
I
want a
used- I
really
used to
good
do back in the
tea.
day. I used to do catnip and chamomile tea.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah, it would help you go to sleep, but it would give you a little buzz too.
Your cats would love you.
Well, I didn't have any cats at the time.
Your
Oh
cats
my
would totally
God.
love you.
Hold
They
on.
smell catnip on your breath. They're going to start acting real funky.
I get it.
Another good drink is to do a lemon saner with some honey and lemon. That tastes really good. Half a lemon, a spoonful of honey.
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
Raffi was not having any honey or lemon, that's for sure.
No.
She was really freaking out a little bit. She's like, I've lost my, sobriety, her family. She's like, what am I doing all this for? She's in a really dark moment right there.
Until
and
he
Worf
says
is
that-
like, you've got the heart of a warrior. And boy, do you have those instincts.
Until he
I
turned
mean,
around and says, like that reveal about Maury Povich, I am your father. He's like, I am your handler. And then she was like, you're a legend. You're a fucking legend. This is cool. And you called me a warrior? Bet.
I just
You're
love it.
everything I thought you were going to be, and some things you're not.
Worf is so supportive. And that's just, if you need support, that's the kind of support you need is Worf. Worf is a good support.
Yeah, seriously.
And she's
You can't
just
be
like,
an athlete, be a Worf supporter.
and he's just like, and now we're on a mission. We're going to go find this guy. And she's just like, what? Cool.
But think about it. You fight your whole life, let's say, and it'd be just like me, Lee Ermey. For you who don't remember the actor's name, he played the drill instructor
Arlie Emery.
in Full Metal Jacket. It'd be like you're out there in combat, you really kick ass, you come back and he comes up to you and puts his hand on your shoulder, goes, you did an outstanding job, Marine. You'd grin like a little kid. Just like, he corrected, yeah.
True.
So for Worf to call her a warrior, that was a definite moment.
It's really cool. And
Yeah.
I'm excited to see them continue to work together because I think Worf is a good influence on her.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think she needs just a few more good influences.
But it seems like they kind of vice versa. She was like Worf of old. And then he turned into the samurai sage. So it was
You
nice
mean
to
one's
see
a
that.
younger version and one's an older version?
There you go. Thank you.
He's got perspective.
More wise, more
He's got
experienced.
the perspective, and she's a grasshopper.
Yeah.
Grasshopper.
Oh my God. It reminds me of a magazine where they had it on there, the Kung Fu edition.
Kung Fu grip.
When he's like, Master Po, why do you call me grasshopper? He goes, because, Kwai Chung, you are ugly like insect.
Damn.
Okay, that wasn't exactly where I was going with that.
I know. It was funny. Okay, sorry. We've gone
All
off on a
back
tangent.
on the bridge, this argument between which way to go, because you got a couple options here, and giving up isn't one of them. And Riker's not about to fucking go attack Vadic's ship because that Shrike is really fucking scary. And he's like, this ain't the Enterprise. And it surprises me because I thought the Titan would be a little bit tougher than the Enterprise. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, so did I.
But yeah, you need a tactical advantage. Let's go engage. And he's like, no. We need defense here. We need to get the fuck out of here. We need to save the crew.
And that's what I'm looking forward to talk about on this section, because I think it's this section or is it the next after this? We're on 3 now, right?
Yeah, we're still in 3.
No.
Or 2.
We're going
we're
to
still
move
in
to
2.
3.
We're getting about.
Yeah, we're on.
We're
2.
about ready to see the Shrike whip out their portal.
Okay.
The moment, but they say they're going to take the strategy and run with it. So Riker says, we're going to run with it. We're going to warp out. So they make that decision. Let's get the fuck out of here. And they make a run for it. And then out of nowhere, the Shrike whips out a fucking portal. Now, we haven't seen the portal on a starship. We've seen the portal attack on that recruitment center. Mm-hmm. And maybe people aren't necessarily familiar with the portal technology. But now we see it used on the starships. And that's like, you're just not getting away because we can just bink, make it come through a portal and put you back exactly where you were.
And you didn't hear, if you had your sound turned up, you can hear every time the Titan disappeared, you would hear a small voice off on the side.
Are you still there?
And it came back out.
Is anyone there?
Whatever.
I love that game.
You got to play Portal.
Okay,
the Portal games are great.
Next section.
Hi, Captain. Act 3. Between a Rock and a Hard Place. Storyline B. Raffi and Worf track Rika to Metallis Prime, and a chase ensues. They apprehend him and take him into custody. Storyline A. Back on the Titan, they flee into the nebula while Vadic attacks. Jack Crusher remembers Seven and tells her about the trail of breadcrumbs. Help me find the leak. They find the source and come to realize that it wasn't an accident, but sabotage!
For those waiting for the translation, we'll put in a little bit of actual sabotage by the Beastie Boys.
That's so fantastic. Both Riker and Picard want to use this info to their advantage, but they disagree on how to do that. Riker wants to flee and save the lives of his crew, while Picard wants to fight and risk more people dying. As they fight, the saboteur finds Jack Crusher working to fix the leak and tries to kill him.
This is the first time that we get a chance to see that Riker and Picard are actually kind of bumping heads.
I love that they're disagreeing.
Yeah.
What does Riker say? Remove yourself from my bridge. We've killed us all.
No, that's next section.
Next section.
But yeah, it's they've got 2 thoughts to this. Let's run or fight. Fight or flight. That's the situation. Yes. Do we fight? Do we fly? And we're trying to fly and we're not getting away. So maybe we should fight. And it's just, they're both on the wrong ship, right? This is not their ship. So now they put this ship in a situation, they got to get it out of it, right? And I'm completely in agreement with Riker. We need to get the fuck out.
Yes.
I really kind of hate to say it in a way, but I have to agree also because first off, you saw the shitload of laundry lists of stuff that the Shrike has on it. Mm-hmm. You don't know the Titan that well because it's a new Titan, so you don't even know what's on it.
Retrofitted.
So you don't even know how to handle. You don't know the crew. You don't know the capability. You haven't gone through stress tests and everything like you have. So I think, I hate to say it, but this is where I disagree with Picard. You need to get the fuck out of there as quick as possible. It's obvious that you're outgunned. You get a whole spread of torpedoes before you went in Nebula, and all she did was cackle and laugh.
Exactly.
You get nothing to do anything. Just get the fuck out of Dodge, period.
At the same time, you're getting backed up against the wall, and you can't go through the wall, can you? So we got to fight. We got to put some claws out. So I hear what Picard is saying, and it's obviously the thing you maybe need to do is you're getting forced into the situation. It's a strategy because you're getting forced there. It's the only thing you can do because you can't really run because you tried running and you just got portaled back to where you were.
Well, the one thing I don't understand about all this is Vadic could easily have killed them. Easily. Patrick, is that you?
Maybe.
It's you haven't fed the cats yet. Now it's red alert.
Mm-hmm. Red alarm. Red alarm.
So If Vadic could kill them so easily, why hasn't she?
That's curious.
That's
And
we have
She
yet to
wants
see.
Jack.
We've yet to see what's actually going on because there's a couple more episodes to get.
If she kills them all, then she kills Jack too. But she wants Jack a lot.
She doesn't want to kill them. She wants to own them.
If she has all those weapons, I don't think the reward money is going to be anything substantial to her. Like, she has more fucking valuable weapons on her ship.
She's not there to blow them up. She's there to take him, and she's just going to poke at them until they get him.
Yeah, there's a reason.
Take him for the bounty, right?
Well, we know who stole the stuff from place that
Daystrom.
Raffi's been trying to Daystrom Institute. Yeah, where we know where that equipment went.
And all those weapons.
Yeah, where a lot of it went to her. But you know, they're still looking for the middleman. The fact that she's doing this and wants to get Jack, we still don't know why she wants Jack, but she's definitely after Jack for whatever reason. And Jack right now is on the ship with Seven, and they figured out what the hell is going on because the warp cores has got the
Leak.
the deuterium. That's it. And there's a leak. So they go in there, they go to check it, and they go like, holy shit, somebody fucked with this.
Sabotage.
And they did, not only did they fuck with it, they disabled the sensors so the computer couldn't warn anybody that it's been fucked
So
with.
like, well, then your first thought is like, who the hell is on the ship that's working with Vadic?
Well, the first thought was, let's get the ship secure so we can get back to warp and everything. But yeah, that's another thing. It was like, well, this is not secure. Somebody should call security.
Yeah, and then Seven's like, let's go run. I'll go to take care of this. You take care of that. Don't breathe the gas. And so he starts working on the leak, and he's trying to do his best. And all of a sudden, you hear the door open. And my first thought is like from, what is that show, The Simpsons? You know, you hear, I'm in danger.
I'm in danger.
He tries to fight him, and then the gas is affecting him, and then he goes to punch him in the face. And the first thought is he drugged out, or did that face really shift?
Yeah, and then he gets bounced against the wall, much like Shaw did, but an actual person.
But harder.
Yeah, he bounced off that wall. That knocked at least all the breath out of him, and you can't breathe the air. This is bad. This is real bad.
And the guy leaves him there to die, and he just takes off. It's like, wow. So they're trying to save it to unbeknownst to the bridge of what's going on. Or did Seven call the bridge and tell him, hey, we're being followed?
Yeah,
I think she did tell him.
Yeah, she's
Jessica
a multitasker.
Fletcher.
She told him.
Jessica Fletcher took care of it on the next murder she wrote.
Well, when the guy's face phased, I thought he was wearing some kind of kind of cloaking device. I didn't realize that he was a changeling at the time.
I wasn't sure because we haven't seen a changeling in a while. It was just kind of a new effect because we're used to seeing a changeling on DS9, and somebody didn't make that show in HD, so we don't know what it looks like in HD.
It was from the 90s.
Yeah.
We saw 90s effects.
This was a 2020 version, the 2020s version of a changeling. It takes a little bit to get used to it because, oh my God, we haven't seen this in so long.
So she tries to get it done. She calls him up. They says, okay, we have a saboteur. Sabotage, as Sarah says.
Yeah. I immediately heard Beastie Boys, when that happened.
Sabotage. I like the shouting. I like the beating and the shouting. And they said, well, let's lure them into a trap. And I'm thinking again, Picard, how can you trap a ship?
This is amazing because what actually happens, the trap is a trap.
Yeah, so it's the whole thing. And that means that they got some intel on what Picard would do.
Yeah. They played their game plan exactly how they would. I mean, this is exactly what you would do. You've got no choice. They've got no choice. This is what they're going to do. So here's what we're going to do. And that's the next section. But
then you get okay.
But it's the same problem. Riker's like, we got to run, and we've got this one chance. We've got to attack.
It's like, no, why you just sometimes a tactical retreat is good. Well, Marines, we don't ever say we're retreating. We always say we're advancing to the rear. Be quiet, Patrick. So, which is really kind of cool.
My lips are sealed.
Yeah. So Seven comes back and tries to save Jack, and then we wind up waking up in the next section.
We're not there yet. We got to talk about what's going on with Raffi and Worf.
Oh yeah,
it's right. It's apparently beheadings on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I like that.
And Worf was wearing warrior casual. He wasn't wearing warrior gear.
So we have Taco Tuesdays and Beheading Wednesdays.
So the fight was this time. The fight was in this section with Raffi
this is
and
where they go. They nab the dude.
Okay.
They apprehend him, take him into custody.
And they go to a big club and everything, and they're like grinding. He's like pushing stuff over. Why do people push shit over? Like it's going to slow people down. But anyway, he pushes stuff over.
Because it happens in the movies.
And they dodge around, and what happens? Worf comes up, and he does like the clothesline from the whole 9 yards. It's like, holy shit, looks like he broke his fucking neck.
He picked him up and threw him up in the ceiling and then put him down.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with a Klingon.
Yeah, that was a body slam, and
all the body.
Painful.
And he did it so nice. He had his little pinky out. It was so gentlemanlike.
You must control your anger.
Yes.
It takes the same finesse as drinking a sip out of a chamomile, out of a cup of tea.
Yeah, that was a chamomile dunk.
Yes.
Yeah. But I love that. We need to get that on a t-shirt, though. Beheadings are on Wednesdays. I think that's awesome. Okay, now we can go to the next section because...
Thomas Dekker, the guy who played Titus Rika, did you guys recognize him as a previous actor that's played in other episodes and movies?
No, because my sister was like, he looks like the singer for Green Day. And I'm like, what? And then I guess you could see it if you paused it at the right frame, and he had the eyeliner thing going, so I could see. But I don't know what the guy was in before. I have no idea.
He played Thomas Picard in the movie Star Trek Generations.
Oh,
He also played, he was the father. And then that's who Thomas Picard is, right? The father?
Yeah.
And then Henry Burleigh in Star Trek Voyager, episodes 116, season 1, episode 16, Learning Curve, and season 2, episode 8, Persistence of Vision.
That's pretty cool.
He's been around.
I love it, man. Star Trek actors are still getting work in other Star Trek.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Act 4, fight, 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 fight. Storyline B, Worf and Raffi play good cop, bad cop as they interrogate the suspect. Thanks to Worf's experience with Odo on Deep Space Nine, they identify him as a changeling.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right? The terrorist attack was a ploy to distract Starfleet from the real crime. The prisoners tries to escape, but Worf vaporizes it. Quick history lesson. When the Dominion War ended, a small faction of changelings broke off and became a terrorist group. If Starfleet acknowledges and fights this group, they may start another Dominion War. Worf and Raffi rush off to Daystrom Institute to gather more information. Storyline A. As Jack is dying, we see some 12 Monkeys visual effects and a dream-like prophecy. Seven arrives and rushes him to sickbay, the real Seven, notifying Picard on the way. Picard experiences the longest 17 seconds of his life as he rides the turbolift to sickbay. He arrives to find Crusher zapping the shit out of Jack, finally bringing him back to life. Picard goes back to the bridge and advocates for a surprise attack. Riker disagrees, wanting to save the lives of his crew. In sickbay, Jack wakes up and immediately identifies the changeling to Seven, but he's too late. A bomb goes off and the warp drive is knocked offline. Picard wants to fight, but Riker is against it. All out of options, Riker reluctantly sneaks up behind the Shrike and attacks, firing everything they've got. The Shrike opens a portal and the Titan hits itself with its own weapons, critically damaging their ship. They sink closer to the core of the nebula, unable to fly out. Riker blames Picard for the mess they're in. Remove yourself from the bridge. You've killed us all.
This section here, I must have had my mouth agape for a good 5 minutes. First off, the Shrike knew that they were coming in from behind. And to me, that would have been a red warning right there. You know, you think you're coming in from behind and they're already facing you in the front. It just something's off. Something's off. And so that's not a good thing. And then they decide to fire anyway. And then the portal comes up and behind and nails the Titan with everything they pumped out. All the torpedoes.
They shot themselves in the ass.
Literally.
Basically.
Yeah.
Riker yells, fire everything we've got. That's a big fucking moment.
Yeah.
And they hit themselves with everything they got up their own ass.
Yeah, it's definitely what we call as an alpha strike.
It was surprising.
So
Very surprising.
That's not what you expect to happen when you fire everything you got.
No. And then the look on his face. And this is what really got me when he turned around and told Picard, he just tells himself, Picard's trying to apologize or something. And he just goes, remove yourself from the bridge. You just killed us all. And for the first time in all of the shows, including the first 2 seasons of Picard, you see Picard look like a defeated old man. Mm-hmm. He literally shrunk in on himself.
He's not used to shooting himself in the ass.
No.
That's kind of a surprised look, right?
No lube, no lotion, no application
just a big
wand,
splat
no nothing.
right there.
And he's going.
It was such a hard moment, but Picard's never played Portal before. He doesn't know what he was doing. Anybody who's played Portal before should have been thinking we should just fucking run because if whatever we do is going to get portaled back against our favor.
I know. As Riker, I'm thinking we just got the fucking ship fixed, dude. What the fuck? And then the crew was like, Big Daddy just talked to Little Daddy and cursed him out.
And by the way, now there's no power to the engines. We're out of control. Nothing. We're heading exactly towards that thing we thought it was a bad idea to go to. The big glowing thing in the middle of the nebula.
Now, this is what gets me. They lost power. They're being sucked into some whatever gravity that's in the center of this nebula. And what does it strike to? It leisurely turns around and then flies away when it could easily have teleported Jack up, unless the spy they have on the ship says, I locked him in the gas room. The fucker's dead.
Well, that's what I don't understand. How did the Changeling get on board the Titan to begin with? And why would he kill Jack if they're trying to get him alive?
I don't know, but I think the Changeling's probably been there for a long time because the thing that's happening to me, this seems like it was a long game.
But the Changeling wouldn't know that, Picard and Riker would go to the Titan to commandeer the ship. They didn't even know that.
It was probably
unless he was in the bar.
Well, there was somebody in that bar hearing them talk.
He might have heard him. Yeah, he might have heard him in the bar.
No, there was a guy that was here in the entire conversation. As that scene ended, the camera kind of panned, and they went, "Oh, I was listening to that conversation. This was very interesting to listen to."
Yeah, it was that guy. So maybe that's when he decided to tag along.
Yeah, so there's some weird motivations going on with our baddie, and we don't know what's the end game for any of these people. Obviously, they were definitely going to off Jack. It was very disturbing. The other thing that's going on is, what did Jack see while he was going unconscious and watching?
I didn't quite
the veins
catch
of
that.
the tree limbs
12
growing behind.
monkeys.
There was tree limbs going behind Seven, and she was saying something in a different tone of voice that she actually
Jack was the witness.
Jack was
the witness.
Whoa. And then he sees this red door with some smoke coming out of it.
The Red Forest.
It looked like it was either Ghostbusters or Stranger Things.
I expected when they took him to sick bay, some random person was going to be sitting in the corner going, hold door, hold door.
Hold door, hold door.
He did some sort of time thing going on in his head. We really, and Jack, she got him just in time because he was going to die.
Oh yeah,
and
he was on the quick trip to out.
Yeah, and Beverly and Picard actually shared a moment before his world got destroyed by Riker. That my son's good now. I can go upstairs and get cursed out.
And that turbo lift ride that was 17 seconds. Yeah. It appeared to be about 21 seconds, although some of it seemed to be in slow motion. So I pulled out the stopwatch and was checking how quickly that turbo lift was running.
What I don't get is his son just survived and Picard wants to go to war. Like, let's put him into danger. He just survived. Let's put him into danger and possibly get him and us killed.
It's fight or flight. They've got a quote unquote advantage, right? It's crazy. It's like, this is the way we got to get out of here. I mean, I can see from one point of view, Picard's doing the right thing. But from the other point of view, Riker's doing the right thing too. Two rights don't make a right.
No. But the thing on top,
it makes a 180, right?
They finally get the leak done, so they don't see the leak. So they decided, well, we need to get the hell out of here. And what happens is that this dude's bomb blows up, so they can't even warp now.
Yeah, now he decides to blow it all. Yeah, so that's some serious sabotage going on. Wasn't even going to kill the guy. He was also going to blow up the engine, the plasma manifold or whatever, the conduit.
It's just a fucked situation. And then it's a cliffhanger on top of it. You're like, how the hell are they're good at like space AAA? to come and tow them out of this? What's going on?
Well, it's like a no-win scenario, but that's next week.
Yeah.
I have a prediction. I've looked in my crystal ball, and I have a prediction of what's going to happen next episode.
Okay.
You want to hear?
No, I don't want to hear it.
Oh, okay.
La. No spoilers. No, go ahead.
I don't know if it's a spoiler. I don't even.
Go ahead. There's all kinds of them out there right now.
This is my headcanon. Okay, this is what I think will happen. I don't know if it will actually happen. This is just what I imagine will happen. The whole thing with the nebula, about the nebula not wanting them in there and wanting them out.
That's a life form. They're going to meet the life form in the nebula.
I don't think they're going to meet the life form. I think the nebula is going to put out a burst of electrical energy and blow them out of the nebula.
Just get the fuck off my lawn. Whack!
Yes. I am sick of you people.
How dare you come in when I'm taking a shower? Get out of here.
That's right. It's the image was the door opening and the life forms coming out and saying, "Get out."
Maybe it was those creatures that they talked to that had pulled them all together on Discovery. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be anybody.
Yeah,
I blame the
I'm just
tribbles.
looking forward to it. It's kind of what I want to see it now, and it's hard to believe that there's still a whole handful of episodes left of all this goodness. So
there's a lot of story to tell, and I think there's a lot of angles to it that they're about. I'm sure there's angles they haven't dropped on us yet.
We still haven't seen the other TNG people because they said they're all going to make an appearance.
We haven't seen Brent Spiner. We haven't.
No.
Yep. We haven't seen LaForge.
We haven't seen any of them, so it just is going to be a hell of a ride.
The Changeling guy, they're playing good cop and bad cop, and I'm like, but Worf is playing the good cop? Is this the Worf we know and love?
Yeah.
I love this new Worf.
And Raffi's ripping fingernails off. This was different.
Raffi was scary.
I like how it keeps us off balance.
This is going to be interesting, and I know next time the closed caption won't be giving anything away. So
I bet you they've checked them, and they've checked them twice.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. And if you haven't seen the Ready Room afterwards, see it. It's a nice conversation with Jonathon Frakes on there. They have a really nice conversation and stuff of what's happening. And they show the story of how Worf wanted to interpret his character because they were going in one direction with him. And he thought that wouldn't it be cool for him to be kind of like a samurai? And they ate it up. They said, yeah, that'll work. Let's do it. So,
well, I love that one quote where Raffi's like, have you seen how a Klingon can shove his sword so far up someone's ass?
I do not do that anymore.
I do not do that anymore.
It was so good.
That was funny. That was very funny. Now, of course, I have to ask, Heather, what would you give this?
I give this episode a hard 8. It's pulsing and there's a rhythm, and I kind of like that.
Ooh, well, I like that. How about you there?
She likes it.
How about you there, Chief?
I gotta go maybe even a 8.5, maybe even a 9, because you just don't see a starship shoot themselves in the ass.
So a 9. So you're talking about only a quarter of the way from your. Wait, we're talking ratings. That's right. Okay, so a 9. That will work.
It was weird though, man. It was that there were several moments of why are mommy and daddy fighting?
Yeah,
it happened with Beverly and
uncomfortable.
Picard, and it happened with Riker and Picard.
It was very uncomfortable.
It's very unsettling.
It was.
What would you give it, Captain?
I think I would give it a throbbing 8.5.
Nice.
So because it gripped my sides well.
The pulsating.
And it's
love handles.
Yeah, it gripped really well, and it was warm and comforting, and every once in a while a shock because the timing wasn't exact on both ends. So I think I should stop here. Okay. Next week, normally this is where I ask number 1, but he's recuperating.
I have it for you, Captain.
Which, unfortunately, next week's episode is entitled The Same Thing When Heather Decides to Cook for Everyone. It's a no-win scenario.
A Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah, so it's not going to happen. So thanks, everybody, for joining us. Wait, before we go, I'm going to try something a little new. Do you have any last words about this episode there, Heather?
She's very quiet.
I think maybe not. Oh, she's lighting them again. There's legends on the Alien Con floor about
Great.
that.
I wanted to see if the smell was flammable.
It is.
I was blown away at this episode because it didn't feel like it was under an hour. I felt like I watched a full-on movie with this episode.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff in
it. It kept on going each scene break.
Oh, there was so much.
It was like, oh my God, they're still going. Oh my God, they're still going. It's still on. I can't believe it's not over yet. Yeah. It didn't feel like it was a big 4-act thing. It didn't feel like it was, it was still 55 minutes or so, something like that. But it felt like it was longer than that. It was such a big story.
It was, and I'm looking forward to for it continuing on. Far,
it's not bad when it's only so long, but you felt it was longer.
Yeah,
that's a good thing, right, Heather?
Did she pass out from lighting her own farts?
Length is good. Width is good too.
I think she was laughing so hard she couldn't say anything.
Okay, I think that we're going to go ahead and close this up before HR finds another reason to open up investigation again. So thanks, everyone. If this is the first time you're joining us, I'm sorry. Go back and listen to other episodes of us. We have a lot of them in the can. You can actually listen to the very first one and then listen to now and see how far we've come, especially with this nice new starship. So remember, if you need to reach out to us, we're at The Collective at StarfleetUnderground.com. That is The Collective at StarfleetUnderground.com. Please support us if you can on Patreon. Money as low as $1 will be greatly appreciated. Woo-hoo. We have new merchandise coming all the time to our store. So you'll find the links on our website. And what's that website, you might say? Well, my engineer is going to give you all of that juicy, good information at the end here. So I don't repeat myself and sound like I'm an idiot. So I don't repeat myself and sound like an idiot. So I don't repeat myself and sound like an I did it again, didn't I?
Evasive.
Okay.
Evasive in your
evasive like I did several times during this episode. I'm yelling commands from my armchair. Evasive.
And as we find out in the after show, the chairs on the bridge are super spinny.
Yes, they are.
So please remember, just don't have a great week, but make it so.
And if you can, support the show by going to patreon.com/Starfleet Underground. Lots of perks to choose from, and you might even like some of them. Starfleet Underground, beaming into a podcast feed near you. Log on to our website at starfleetunderground.com and send your comments and questions to The Collective at starfleetunderground.com. Follow us on Twitter at StarfleetUnderG, and on Facebook and Instagram, we're Starfleet Underground.
Transfer complete.